That is right, guys. Today we have a really big announcement. RuneScape 3 is coming to Steam. So this was all posted in a news post, which was dated September 24th, and they discussed why they are going to put RuneScape on Steam and their hopes and goals of doing so. So in this short video, I want to go over my thoughts of RuneScape 3 going on to Steam and what I hope will happen. I'm also going to go over a little bit of the news post, and I do really want to touch on what we can do as a community to make this go really well. So definitely stay tuned for that. This is a really exciting time that RuneScape is expanding to other platforms, and I truly am super excited about this. So in their news post, they talk about how they really want to make RuneScape a more accessible and cross-platform game, which is an excellent idea. They're going to start with bringing it to Steam, and they also talk about bringing it to other platforms as well. Some that come to mind, possibly Epic Games, other game platforms like that. And this really is an excellent first step bringing RuneScape to Steam. It is one of the biggest PC gaming distribution service out there, and it will basically just create a lot more awareness for RuneScape and hopefully bring a lot new players into the game. Now, along with producing RuneScape for Steam, they also talk about their mobile launch, and they say that this is probably their next big step. Now, they did delay the release date to 2021 now, but they really are going to be working on improving the UI and basically just the early game experience, which is a really important thing to do right now, especially since the game is becoming more accessible to so many more players. You really want those new players to fall in love with RuneScape and want to keep on playing. So working on that early game is a really important thing right now, and just having a positive community helping out all the newer players, that will help as well. Now, that is basically all they have to say about Steam so far, but it is going to be officially released on Steam on October 14th. So it isn't that far away. There's going to be some cool achievements, Steam achievements and things like that as well that you will be able to obtain. So that's going to be a nice little addition to some collectors out there. Now, I just want to talk about my thoughts of RuneScape going to Steam. So of course, I am super excited because it's always good when new players play RuneScape and get into the game. I love when the player base becomes larger and more people just play in general. So obviously, making RuneScape for Steam, it is going to do that. It's going to bring a lot of new players into the game, people who are just browsing on Steam for free games even. You'll get a lot of players doing that. And RuneScape is one of the most well-known games out there. It's been around for 20 years, so obviously when someone finds it on Steam, they may as well download it and try it out. You're going to see a lot of people coming into the game once this is released, so it is going to be super exciting. Now, the big thing that I do want to talk about how we can help this Steam launch is everyone who plays RuneScape, I would highly recommend putting a positive review for the game. So when it first is released, there are no reviews. So by putting in a positive review on Steam, we'll make it so basically they're mostly positive, which will give a higher chance for newer players to try out the game, which is what most of us should probably want. This game really could use some more players. It's down to about 30-40k on average. Might even be a bit lower than that since archaeology, but it is always great for new players to come into the game, so having a positive review on Steam will definitely help that out. Steam also really does use the reviews, whether they're positive or negative, when recommending the game. So just making sure that we have an overall positive review, it really is super helpful. So as I said, if you feel like helping out the game and bring more players to it, just leaving a positive review would go a long way. Now, also, while scrolling through Reddit, I came across this post, which is from an old school RuneScape player who basically just said that RuneScape 3 is coming to Steam, and they do not want old school players to review bomb the game and put a bunch of negative reviews, and this is honestly very accurate. As you can see, it has 7.7 thousand upvotes, so it is really popular within the old school RuneScape community, and so it should be, because if RuneScape 3 does do well on Steam, that is only going to help out Jagex as a whole, and as this guy says, if RuneScape 3 does do well on Steam, it's basically just going to bring more money to Jagex as a whole, which they can then use for both RuneScape 3 and old school RuneScape content. So if you are someone who really does enjoy playing old school RuneScape and kind of hates RuneScape 3, it still is beneficial for you to put a good review for RuneScape 3 on Steam. This really is a time for both RuneScape 3 and old school RuneScape to come together and make sure RuneScape's official launch on Steam goes really well and a lot more players come into the RuneScape community. So anyway guys, that is all I have to talk about for this video, but as I said, I am super excited for RuneScape to come to Steam. It is really going to be awesome. I'm going to download it for sure, and that's probably where I'll be playing it, mostly because I want those cool Steam achievements. But anyway guys, let me know in the comments what you think of RuneScape 3 coming to Steam. Also, for all the old school RuneScape players out there, it isn't official if old school RuneScape is going to be going to Steam, but I would say so if the launch for RuneScape 3 goes well on Steam. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm sure there will be some talk about that as well, and we'll get some more information on that. But anyway guys, I really hope you did enjoy this video, and hopefully the launch on Steam goes well. It comes out October 14th, so I hope to see you guys all there, and make sure to put in a positive review to help our community.